Alright guys, in this video I wanted to go over the sieges just because there are a lot of new people on this server, Server 14, and I've been answering questions in chat on game and it just seems easier to make a video about it. So the first thing with sieges, well, if I think you get the sieges icon here from the start of the game. It might be a couple hundred levels before it unlocks, I can't remember. Um, but once you do, this is your sieges icon here. So to be able to play in the sieges, you need a siege deck. The deck is just made up of heroes. You do have to have the hero unlocked from the heroes tab to be able to put them into the deck. So if you ever see a blank space in your deck, even though you have guys in there, it's because your hero is not hired. So once you've hired all your heroes, you can build this deck. So we'll go back to Sieges, click on the Sieges button down here, and then click Deck. I already have some built, so just ignore those. We'll go over here and clear this out. So what worked for me when I first started the game is I used my strongest guy, um, because the idea is you want to kill some of the guys defending the boss that you're trying to hit or kill. Generally, you're just going to be hitting the top bosses until pretty late in the game, or until you have some 230 million reward point siege heroes. So for now, this is mostly just going to be a bugle farming guide and trying to get some top bosses. So maybe you can get yourself some 4 million heroes like William Vane, Trusk, or Jameis. So I like to throw one or two really strong guys in just to try and kill some of those weaker minions that the bosses have. I know a lot of people start with Nishkalan, so I'll throw him in there. I also have leveled up my Ina some, so I'm going to throw her in there as well. Even if she wasn't leveled up and you just had a strong Nishkalan, she's also a good choice. She does do quite a bit of damage. Well, she will if she gets a buff from a strong Nishkalan, but she also has an ability. So when you're fighting in the league or any PvP or the sieges, you have to look at the stats here and the ability here. This is what's going to count as your strong heroes. You could use a Kurtharaz that's only legendary, but his stats are going to be weaker than this Ina that already has some levels. Another thing that is affecting her right now is you can look at these traits. So during the week that we're on right now, which is Rune Week, she gets a times 20 bonus to all of her stats. So divide any of these by 20, and that's usually what her stats would be at. She also has this 30% increased damage to goblins, which isn't going to affect anything from me right now. So I have my Nushkalan, and I'm just clicking on these to add them in. Adding her. To find some guys that maybe some newer people would have, I'm going to add more of those. I'm going to add Sun Tzu right here, just because a lot of people buy him pretty early on. He's not too hard to get. And then after that, you just want to add other strong characters. Um, One thing to look out for, though, is even if they're not the strongest stat-wise, look at their abilities, especially when you're trying to get hits on the top bosses. Anything that deals damage to all enemies is going to be preferred, because if this attack goes off, which is a 30% chance, um, you don't have to worry about who it's trying to hit. It's going to have a chance at hitting the boss. There is a miss chance with them, but this is the best we have for now. I like to throw in one defender into my front row. Justice you get pretty early on also, so I'll throw him in. Um, and another mage. So most of the mages have abilities like Dakot, where they deal damage to all of the enemies. The chance is pretty much the same. And this guy's actually a little bit better than Dakot just because his miss chance is only 10%. I'm pretty sure Dakot's was 20. So now that I have those guys out there, what I'm going to do is add my Dendi. Dendi has an ability, devours an enemy, leaving him no more than 30% of his HP. This is how you can kill the bosses, the low-level bosses, to farm bugles. Once you have Dendi, you can start doing that. I have, where's he at? Lord Drador unlocked. His ability also works against the bosses. In my opinion, it's not as strong as Dendi's, but it does go off pretty often. And it just increases the chance of you actually killing that boss and getting as many bugles as you can. Now, once I have those guys added in, I like to fill these back too with defenders. That will just give them a possible extra turn or two to try and hit the top bosses. So Sir Zelik, he's one that most people have. Day 14, I think, is a daily reward. And then, where's the bear? Grimbjorn. He's also a defender. So, by defender, I mean their class says defender. He has this trait that he's going to intercept enemy strikes. So he has like a taunt on him. They're going to attack him first. If they do use an ability that hits everyone, it will hit your other guys though. So that's just kind of luck of the draw. Sometimes they kill everybody. So I'll save that deck, and I'm going to go in and try a siege now. So to try a siege, you click on the sieges button here, and then I'm going to track down boss. The bosses that you can see probably aren't going to be this strong, which isn't anything crazy. That's just what I have for right now. That is all based off of the guild star points that you have. If you go into the, oh man, it's a little bit different on computer than it is on the phone. Okay, so if you go into your heroes section and scroll all the way down and click on ranks, these are the guild points that I'm talking about. And this determines what difficulty or how much HP a siege boss you can find has. So I believe 150 points are needed to be able to run into the top bosses during top boss hours. And that isn't just this number. This number here is the free points that you have to allocate to whoever you want. But it counts total ranks that you have. So what you need to do is add up everything you have on all your people, whoever it is, and this number. And if that's over 150, then you can encounter the top bosses. And there are breakpoints for if you have a certain number of these, you'll run into harder bosses in the sieges. So if you go back into sieges, top boss. I don't really want to fight this guy now because I'm not going to be able to do anything to him. And I got another one. Okay, this guy I can. So he has pretty high life. Pretty high life. You can also look at their point values will increase with their life. When you're farming bugles, one thing to try and do is get how this guy says 1 out of 15. So the way you get bugles is by being the person that finds it. So I found it because 1 out of 15, I'm the first person out of 15 people attacking this boss. Somebody just came in and killed it. You get 1 bugle if you're the one that found it and you hit it. If you do the most damage to the boss, you also get a bugle. If you're the one that deals the final blow to a boss and kills it, you'll get another bugle. So you can get up to 3 bugles per time you attack, and that will spend one of your bugles. So you can positively go up 2 bugles if you're able to one-shot a boss from full life and you found it. So I'm going to track down the boss, try and find one that I have the 1 in. Attack that, and I'm just going to attack this now before somebody comes and kills it again. So this will start. Okay, well I hit it right off the bat there. So I'm at least going to get 1 bugle, but you can see my guys don't do nearly enough damage to kill that thing. Now I'm waiting on Dendi and Lord Drador to attack this. And that's why I put these other strong guys in, is because they killed all the guys. That there is what we're looking for. When Dendi uses that ability, there's a chance of that happening. The blood appearing. And that does, like, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it does his ability again without him having to use it. So you can deal a ton of damage that way. If that ability goes off, you're probably going to kill that boss. So after you beat the boss, it'll tell you how much damage you dealt. You killed that one. So I'm going to go back here, exit, exit, and go to my mail. Oh, mail's in a different spot on the computer. Where's that? Right here, mail. Go to the mail, I'll get a mail, and it gives me a breakdown of my points earned and what I received from killing the boss. So I got my 3 bugles. And this is what I was talking about here. So the way it works for point breakdown is whoever found the player and dealt damage gets 5% of the boss's total point value. Whoever dealt the most damage to the boss gets 30%. Whoever dealt the final blow gets another 5%. The remaining 60% of the points are split among whoever else dealt damage to that boss. So you can see I found it, killed it, and dealt the most damage. So I got the total point value of what that boss is worth. I also got the 3 bugles. So I'll just collect those, they'll go into my stack of bugles in the siege menu. You can use this deck to try and hit the top bosses. It might be kind of difficult, just because most of your, or all of your um, characters that hit everyone are right up front. So they have a good chance of getting killed before they're able to try their attacks. So what you can do is, if you went to a new tab, I like to throw a couple of guys that can hit everybody up in the front row. So I'll throw these 2. And then I throw my defenders that I have, because we're not trying to actually kill anything here. We're trying mostly just to get even 1 point of damage on the top boss. Attackot, and this guy. This guy also does the same thing that the other wizard does, or mage, and it doesn't matter how much damage he's doing. Like I said, we just need to hit it 1. So we got a defender in there. I'm going to take that one out because I actually want another. I don't think I have anybody else that hits everyone. So I'm just going to throw in Ula. She attacks 6 people, so if she's attacking 6 times, she has a pretty good chance of hitting them. You can get her by altering, I think it was one of the thieves that you have. It took me forever to get her, and I'm not exactly sure who I had in the altar when she came back. So now that I have all those, I'm going to throw in some more defenders. The rest of the defenders that I have. I also like Prenax if you have him. You get him late, early game, I guess. His ability is reflect 75% of main back to 2 random enemies. So if somebody uses an attack on him, he'll just strike back at 2 random enemies for a ton of damage, because the bosses deal a ton of damage. This does not work when the bosses use an ability, though. It has to be a regular attack. But I've had good luck having him in my decks when I was trying to hit bosses. And then I think that's all. Oh no, where'd Justice go? No, he's already in there. Okay, so I just need another multi-hit guy. You might not have Trust. He was a 4 million hero. I like his just because it has a good chance of going off. Save that and go back to sieges. I'm not going to be able to kill these guys. This is just for getting hits. Like I said, it's not top boss hour right now, so this is just an example of what you can do to try and hit one of the top bosses. It does take a few tries a lot of the time, so don't get discouraged, especially if you're trying right now during Rune Week, where the bosses move really fast, so you only have time to attack once. During a normal week, you can usually get 4 or 5 attacks off if you have to, and if you're just going fast. So let's attack this. So if we're pretending this is a top boss, how I would do it is as soon as I came in, or as soon as I hit attack, I would start spamming this button up here. That's the fastest way that you can try and attack a boss. So just attack, click up here, and I'm back out. Okay, we're back out. My sound cut out for a second. So you can keep doing that until you get a hit on the boss. So you can see, I mean, I'm hitting it a few times here, mostly just because my Ina is pretty strong. So she's not dying right away. So it's going to be a little bit harder than this. That would have definitely killed Ina without any rarity increases on her. But anyway, during top boss hours, that's how I do it. You click attack, click up here, click attack. Just keep doing it until you see in this list of people that you've dealt some damage. And you can scroll down and try and find them. During Rune Week, you don't have that opportunity. After you attack, they're usually dead. You don't even have time to hit attack again. One other thing I wanted to go over that just is more general for the whole game, but does apply to the sieges. If you click on any of these and then go into the actual, like, where you would find a guy, there's usually a little rules book. And you can click on that and it gives you an explanation of most of the things that I went over in this video, like the point breakdown. I don't think it mentions how you get bugles or anything, but that tells you the point breakdown and how that works. But there's also this rewards button down at the bottom, and this is true for the events. I don't think the League has the rewards button, but for most game modes, you can find a rules book somewhere and it'll have a rewards button in it. If you click that, you can see what you get rewarded for reaching certain point total breakpoints. So if you get 780 million, you'll get a chest. There's two different types of rewards from the sieges. So you have a position at the end of the week reward. Right here, if you get number 1, 15 chests, 2 through 10, 10 chests, whatever. That only applies to the group that you're in. So if you're the top player, you're not going to get all of these also. You're just going to get the 15 chests. And then there's the point value rewards. These ones apply throughout. So if you had 780 million points, you would also get all of these the second that you got to that point value. So on your way up to 780, you hit 4 million, get a chest. 20 million, 300,000, 5 chests. All the way up. There's also clan rewards. So in the same spot, back out at the main menu, you can see your ranking in that week and your point total. If you click clans, you see your clan's ranking and the total points that everyone in your clan has combined. From there, with the clan tab selected, I can go to sieges, rules, rewards, and see what the clan rewards are for that week and what point totals you need to reach them. It works the same way where there's position-based rewards. So the top clan on the server is going to get 5 medium rune chests at the end of this week. Throughout the week, there's also the point total rewards. So when you get 1 million points, every person in your clan that's not a novice member will get 1 small rune chest this week when you reach 1 million points. And all of these other rewards. Like I said, that works for the events. Also, you can look at what rewards you can get and read some of the rules. There is some useful information in some of these. It doesn't do the best job of explaining everything, though. I think that's a pretty good introductory video. I'll let you guys watch it. Let me know what you want to see next, what you want to see changed in this video, what I didn't go over enough. Yeah, in the future I do plan to make one to go over the events really quick, but this one's getting kind of long, so you probably don't want to sit through everything all at once. Good luck on your sieges, and see you later.